we're not only giving you this broadcast by way of radio, but we're also recording this on Social Cam. So for those who want to join Life Coach Corner on Social Cam, go ahead and do that. Matter of fact, you'll get the full broadcast. Don't tell anybody I told you, but you'll get the full broadcast on Social Cam. And so go there, and I know that you'll be tremendously blessed by that as well. But we want to continue talking about how to take control of your emotions. How to take control of your emotions. Now, we talked last time about several different things that emotions are a result of conflict. There's some type of conflict that has occurred within your life that causes you to have some type of strong feelings in a particular situation, whether it be internal, whether it be external, whether it be relational, occupational. Some type of conflict has occurred. And because of it, it has caused you to have strong emotions. We must manage these emotions. We've got to manage them. We cannot be out of control, whether it be positive or negative. And we talked about the different emotions, the positive side versus the negative side. Either way, you need to manage your emotions. It doesn't matter. You can become too excited and you can become too frustrated. Both of them are bad. When you don't manage your emotions, you now become something that has to be managed or controlled by external sources. And that's when we get into police officers having to put handcuffs on people. That's when we get into people having to tell other people to shut up, sit down, those types of things. And we don't like that. But we must manage ourselves. Or the Bible puts it this way, we must judge ourselves lest we be judged. You don't have to worry about having to receive the judgment of other people if you simply judge yourself. If you manage your own emotions, and I'm not saying that it's an easy thing to do, that's why we're talking about it. That's why we're giving you strategies to help you manage your emotions, because it's not always easy. But it is possible. And as we continue to develop and mature, we must employ these particular strategies in order to take control of our emotional lives. Okay? All right, so that's why we're talking about this. Now, we've already talked about number 1 and number 2, how do I take control of my emotions? Number 1, you've got to identify your feelings. Number 2, you must determine the source of your feelings, the issue within the issue. Let's go to number 3 now. Number 3, once you identify and you determine the source, you've got to talk about your feelings. You've got to talk about them. The worst thing you can do is to suppress how you feel. Well, Pastor, Dr. Sid, I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm just going to keep it to myself. When you do that, what happens, you build a big pile of unresolved emotions, and one little issue that's really not that big of a deal will set all of that off, and you will damage, sometimes beyond repair, you will damage relationships simply because you didn't properly manage your emotions. Now, some people think, well, I am managing my emotions because I'm not saying anything. I'm not exploding. You're not exploding now, but you will eventually explode. Because emotions, if they are kept in, if they are bottled up, they're like toxins. They will eat away at you internally. And that's why it is important to de-stress. It's important to get them out. It is important to deal with them by talking about your emotions. And you talk about them, or you deal with them directly. That's how you help take control of your emotions. You have to deal with them directly. You've got to face them head on. Okay? So, number 3, talk about your emotions. Number 4, when you talk about your emotions, especially when you're talking to maybe someone else who's involved in the conflict, whatever the conflict might be non-confrontational in your discussion. Be non-confrontational. You've got to own your own feelings. You've got to own your own feelings. You must own your own feelings. Okay? No, listen, no one can make you feel a particular way. Now, I know Dr. Sid's going to get some flack on that one, but I'm just being honest with you. No one can make you feel a particular way. You choose how you're going to feel. Now, something can rub you the wrong way, but then you have to make a decision if you're going to allow those feelings to dominate your activities, your actions, your responses, your reactions. No one can make you feel a particular way, so don't put your feelings off on someone else. You'll never control your feelings if it's always someone else's fault. I teach my children that. Don't ever say, well, so-and-so did this and they made me. No, no one makes you do anything. Own up to your own feelings. How do I own up to my own feelings? You have to be able to use statements like, I feel angry, or I feel upset, or I feel. You've got to own. Don't use phrases like, you made me feel. See, that's confrontational. And what's going to happen when you tell someone, you made me feel this way? Well, they're going to become defensive, and they're going to try to defend themselves. So you've got to make sure that you own your own feelings, okay? Number 5, we're moving right along. Number 5, in how do I take control? Just as your feelings are real to you, you've got to be able to validate other people's feelings as well. Now, I know that sounds weird. I can help take control of my feelings by validating other people's feelings? Yes. When you validate or hold as true how other people feel, it helps you manage your own feelings, because everyone does not feel the way you feel. And just because your feelings are true to you, you don't have a right to project them on other people. Let people feel what they feel, and you own your own feelings, okay? All right, number 6, how do I take control? Practice staying calm during outbursts. Practice staying calm, C-A-L-M, calm during outbursts. Whenever something is happening, whenever there's something big going on, practice staying calm. Now that calm, the word calm is an acrostic. That means each letter represents something. It means something. So let's look at the C. The C in calm means this. Practice staying centered. I've got to stay centered. No matter what's going on, I've got to keep myself in a centered position. So I focus on my breathing. Take a deep breath. And I focus on smiling. Even though I might not be happy, put a smile on your face. Focus on that. Okay? The A stands for aware. I've got to be aware of how this is making me feel right now. Am I feeling challenged? Am I feeling defensive? Am I feeling as if I'm backed up into a corner? You got to focus. You got to be aware of how you feel. The L stands for listening. While you're still doing this, keep listening. Don't just listen to what is said. Don't focus on what is said. Focus on what is said, but not how it is said. Don't focus on how a particular thing is said. Focus on what is being said to you. Okay? And so that's the L. I've got to keep listening. I'm focusing on what is being said, not how it's being said. And then the M stands for this. Always be mature. Always be mature. Be grown in the situation. See, when you're mature, you can remove yourself from the hecticness of the situation. Especially if you feel like you're going to lose it. Sometimes it's best just to walk away. Sometimes it's best just to say, I can't deal with this right now. Okay? That's the calm technique. And then number 7, here's the 7th thing, the final thing. Think about what you're thinking about. And I know I said that before, but let me say it again. Think about what you're thinking about. Focus on what you're thinking about, and that will help you take control of your emotions. Listen, I'm out of time. What an awesome session. You've been awesome. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for implementing. And go to our website, AskDrSid.com, if you have any questions or anything you would like us to share in the future. So until next time, this is Dr. Sid reminding you that your best days are ahead as you turn the corner in your life. God bless.